Welcome to the Dream Lab podcast. It's your captain, Dre Perry. I'm here. It's episode 47 of the Dream Lab podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in once more. I'm here with the co-pilot. Chrissy B is in the building.
Yo.
How are you today?
I am swell.
That's good. I feel like you said you was swell like a previous episode.
I think I did.
Swell is just your word, and I feel
Peachy.
that. Shout out to Rev Kev. As you see, he's not here today. Y'all know how June is. Kev got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. I think he's currently in Atlanta right now. He's been all over the world.
He's in an international world tour.
International world local city tour.
Absolutely. So if you're watching this, Kev, hi.
Wherever you are in the world.
# where's Kevin? That is going to stick with him for the rest of his life. We miss you.
No, we miss you, Kev. He is definitely getting some rest, but he's working at the same time too. So he's been resting, he's been working, but he'll be back. No worries. We're not beefed out, and he's just not coming back to the podcast or something like that. And we just trying to save face. Like, oh, they must have fell out. He ain't been there 2 episodes. Shut the hell up. So yeah, it's another episode. Make sure you subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all have been tuning in. You've been commenting. You've been sharing. We're gonna talk about some of them comments in this episode.
Yeah, they've been showing out.
Yeah,
especially
no, for real.
On TikTok.
Listen, on TikTok, it's a whole nother world.
Yo.
I'm scared to even go on Twitter because.
Oh my, yeah. No. Well, I open Twitter. Yeah, I'm like, whoa.
Why is your timeline cheeks getting clapped?
First of all, I'm like, it's what people retweet. I don't be on there.
All right.
I don't.
As soon as you open it up, it's somebody just.
I swear.
Round of applause.
That Elon Musk. And you know that ain't shit I watch because I'm not into politics and stuff. Like that is not my algorithm. I did not set that.
I feel it. No, I'm just joking.
How are you?
I'm no, you weren't supposed to see that. No. I'm great. It's been a busy day. It's Juneteenth.
Yes,
for us. Happy Juneteenth. I know most of you are gonna see this afterwards, but anyway, that's today.
It won't be Juneteenth anymore.
I had the day off, and so I've been. I didn't really have the day off because while I didn't work my 9-to-5 job because we were off, I was recording podcasts today. Mixed Emotion, Second Thoughts. We recorded 2 episodes today. So we normally record 2. And since, we all had the day off, we just decided today. So we recorded 2 episodes. Their season is getting ready to end. It'll end right before ours, I think.
Okay.
Or maybe at the same time, because I feel like we dropped in the same week.
I feel like that, or they were right before us.
Or right before us. Maybe because we recording 2 episodes ahead, so I'm feeling like they're ahead. But anyway, so.
What's that like being able, because I know you have been talking about wanting to do stuff like this. Like, is it what you thought it was?
That's a good question. Because it's kind of like it's very similar to this. I mean, other than I don't have to come up with topics, I don't have to talk and so the setup part, the technical part, I've literally done my whole life in church. Wasn't necessarily in this capacity, like podcast capacity, but I knew how to work sound and how to record and edit and do video and lights and all that stuff. And so putting it all together when we started this podcast, and then it was just like, all right, that's easy. Like it's easy. I timed myself, like it was about roughly 25 minutes from the beginning to the end of my setup. Yeah. So it was like, I can do this.
Is it like what you looked forward to? Because, when you are like, I really want to do this. I want this to be my thing. You don't know what you're getting yourself into until you actually
That's very true.
So is it?
There are some things that have kind of just, I guess, raised some awareness that, as far as like equipment, this stuff doesn't last forever. So certain things are kind of like starting to get torn. Not torn, but worn out.
Wear and tear.
Yeah, wear and tear. I think I had a few things kind of like break. Nothing super expensive. Nothing that can be easily replaced. But then I noticed, like, even with my cameras, because these cameras aren't podcasts or like long form cameras. These are actually vlog cameras.
Right.
I just use them on the highest setting to make sure we get a great quality. But yeah, these aren't even like the cameras we should be using. So that's why, like, we have to take breaks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just full transparency. Just with switching out batteries because the batteries die soon, or if the cameras overheat. Like I said, these are not long form cameras, so I had to learn a lot of that stuff and workarounds and all of that stuff because you hear like we got to record, so we got to make it happen. But nothing that has been like defeated me or anything like that. So it's been cool so far. It allowed me to see some stuff that I need to get for the future and how I want to do things. And it has forced me to be more of a scheduled person. Like with our podcast, I can kind of edit any day, kind of keep it at our pace. Yeah. But when you got other stuff going on, when it includes other people, like you got to make sure that you are doing things and everything is kind of with some order to it. I'm losing what word I was trying to say. But anyway, absolutely. I would say that has caused me to be more careful, I guess. Just careful with just like my schedule and with my day. Like don't let it get too late where it's just like, okay, I was supposed to do this. Like if I say you got to manage your time management. That's what I was looking for.
That's good. Woo.
Yeah,
we got it.
Thank you so much.
No, but I was asking that because even for me, when I first started doing makeup, I thought that it was going to be like my full-time thing. I thought I was going to have the, I'm not working the 9 to 5 anymore. I have my own, sweet salon, beauty bar, whatever. Gotcha. My best friend, she's an esthetician. So I'm like, we can have our thing together. My mom, she's a hairstylist. Like we could have a one-stop shop, everything here, all of that stuff. And it's still a great idea. But as I started doing people's makeup and stuff, I love doing it. But I don't want to
do it full time.
No.
I feel that I think just because of the line of work that you do, you have to do it, right? Like right now, yes, I'm doing this, but like if I get enough clients, I can hire somebody to record it or hire somebody to edit it. So all I gotta do is record. You know what I'm saying? Like I just have to kind of like manage it, and I think that's what I've always tried to find the workaround. So, if I can do this with minimal effort, I will absolutely do it with minimal effort because I don't believe in hard work. I believe in work, but I don't believe in hard work. Like think smart, and then you don't have to work hard. And so I know with, like I said, your line of work, you are the person unless you decided, okay, well, I'm going to get a salon and hire other people.
Right, because the one thing I know I'm passionate about is teaching. Okay. So I love teaching. I thought I was gonna be like an elementary school teacher.
Yeah, I felt like you told me that.
Yeah. I don't like kids.
No, I feel like that. No, I do not like kids.
Once
like,
they turn 5, I'll be like, bro, get out my face.
No, bro. Like once you've had one for a few months, you be like, yeah, bro, get out my face. Like, no, I love my daughter. I'm just joking,
but like once they get to the school age, and they start getting around other kids and my God, that's when I be like, hey bro, you annoying
than a mug. Like all of y'all little snot-nosed kids are annoying. Like literally. No, I feel that.
So I found that that probably isn't for me, but when I get to corporate life, I'm doing more training and stuff like that. Like I love doing that. So I'm like, well, maybe I can bring the passion for makeup and train together. Yeah. And be like maybe an instructor type thing.
Yeah, where the passion and the purpose kind of like
align.
Yeah, where it crosses.
So I'm trying to figure that out. But yeah, that whole doing makeup full time, like that's why I asked you, because after starting to do it, I'm like, I'm not doing this full time.
So teaching people how to do their makeup?
Teaching people how to do their makeup, teaching people to become a makeup artist. Like once I figure that stuff out, like, being able to share the wealth, because one thing I'm struggling with right now is you don't get a lot of people being open to provide some tips and tricks or whatnot. Like you got to pay $500 to go to a master class. And I went to a class recently, and although it was a nice experience, for the amount of money I paid, most of the stuff I was already doing.
Got you. That's good.
So I was just like, that encouraged me to know, like, oh girl, no, you really do this. Yeah. And I could really be teaching these classes.
And you can show up in the world somebody who you wish was there for you. Yeah.
And that's what that's why whenever we have those topics and conversations, when people are like complaining about something, I always have that mindset. if I'm complaining about something, oh, we don't got this, we don't got that, we don't got this. Maybe it's your turn.
You're called to solve it.
Yeah,
absolutely, I agree.
So that's how I am, and it is going to be something that I do eventually once I figure out how to do it.
Go on and figure it out then.
Boom.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Wow. Okay. So yeah. No. I think. Well, I was talking about what I did today. I feel like I had something else I wanted to say, but it lost me. So anyway, I recorded today. Pretty busy day because it is kind of it is a lot physically. You have to break. I didn't break anything down, so I broke it all down today.
Yeah.
Did the episodes, came back, and now we're here. But I love what I do.
Okay, that's good. That's
I absolutely love it. So when you ask the question of is it what you thought it was going to be, I definitely get joy out of it. It is work.
Yeah.
But like I'm able to, well, this podcast and with that one, we're getting clients, like that's income coming in the house. And so if it's something that I love to do and it's easy, it doesn't take that much effort, and I get paid for it, like what?
Yeah.
What are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? Like
talking about, excuse me.
So
yes.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I have some other people who've been kind of reaching out, so
I love that. That's what matters.
Yeah.
That's what makes it all worth it. So.
Yeah, so I'll record your podcast, but I as you see, if you watch this podcast, we do quality around here. Yeah. So
you're paying niggas.
You're paying quality. But anyway, before we move on, I want to shout out my wife. She made. Let me bring this to the front. I don't know how this. Can you see it, guys? Can you see it? She did a phone. She made a phone case. So I don't. It's called something. Do you know what it's called? Like.
A silicone case?
No. Like, it's
no.
The style of what she did, or like a junk case or something. I think that's what it's called.
I don't know.
Anyway, she bought a bunch of stuff and then made this little case. So y'all hit her up so she can.
I'm about to get me one. I'm about to get me a pink one.
Get you a phone case.
What size phone is that?
That was her first one too. She's never made one.
Good.
She did a really great job.
And that's the thing too, when you find something, especially when you're trying to figure out like, what do I want to do? It took me a minute to figure out what I was called to do or what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
But when it comes naturally to you like that, like that, for that to be her first one.
Yeah, that was really good.
That is really good. Like it don't look like BS.
And when she was telling me about it, I was just like, okay, whatever. Yeah. Like I wasn't sure, but no,
that is really cute.
Yeah, no, shout out to my wife. So y'all hit her up, and she might make you a phone case. She's not necessarily like taking this on as a business venture, but I mean, if enough people want it and want to throw a couple dollars for it, more than a couple dollars, because
it's quality.
It's quality, but you know what I mean. Hey, who knows?
Yeah, I love that.
Anyway, let's get into today's topics. Are you ready?
Yeah. I wanted to follow up on, was it the last episode that we talked about, or 2 episodes?
Well, it was 2 episodes ago.
2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
So 2 episodes ago, it was a couple things that we talked about. Yes. And we just talked about social media and especially TikTok. I am learning that TikTok, the people on TikTok are different.
Listen.
And I love TikTok, but oh my Lord.
Like, people are just, I mean, they have their opinion. So, I'm looking at these comments.
But the opinions always seem negative.
Yeah. I've realized that people who like to disagree, they're going to disagree in a public forum.
Yeah.
And then people who either agree or they just don't care to go back and forth with you, they're just not going to comment. So all you're kind of left with is those people that kind of just want their voice to be heard.
And it's always the user 1235557.
Yeah, you go to their page and they ain't got no followers and no profile picture. And it just, those people, I'm like, man, shut up, bro. Like you weak as hell, first of all, for commenting something crazy like that. But then it's just like you doing it, you're hiding behind this, like this page, because we don't know who you are. At least we're brave enough to put ourselves out there, our opinions, our faces, our names. You know what I'm saying? So I don't pay attention.
I never got that. But one of our topics was marriage. We said, what's something that if you could pretty much go back to 20-year-old you or something, like what did you learn in your 20s?
Right.
And so we had said, don't get married in your 20s. I mean, I'm still in my 20s. Let me just say that.
But, and that was really just, we were talking about early 20s, really. Yeah. I mean, but we were just saying that that decade is a good time for you to really find yourself, because this is the first time that you're on your own, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So that was really like what we were kind of getting at. Yes, there are exceptions to every rule. And I think those people who are either exceptions to the rule, or they found themselves getting married in their 20s and now they locked into a marriage and they want to kind of, make it seem like all is well. And it's just like, bro, like, it's okay to be honest. Like, yeah, some of us got married too soon. Now, some of us did manage through it and we were able to now figure it out. But some people, a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
They get in their 20s and they get married in their 20s and it's just like, bro, why did I make this decision? You know what I'm saying? So I just want people to think for themselves, because we were talking about like, why do you want to get married and all of that?
Like, is it for the wedding? Because a wedding and a marriage is two
different
things.
And here's the thing. I can tell when people are getting married for the wedding, because it's like the wedding is kind of all they talk about. Like it's their whole life has become this wedding. And I'm just like, bro, like, are you even thinking about y'all as a married couple? And I get like this is your big day. I get it. Y'all big day. Y'all big day. Both of you.
Both.
But I get that. But it's some of these people are
it's a preparation.
Yeah.
Like, you have to prepare for marriage.
Yes.
And one thing I was prepared for marriage. And I feel like
I feel you.
Because what I wanted was it was the outside sources. It was everybody saying, you need to get married. Well, might as well. It's that might as well spirit.
Because might as well is a terrible answer. Like, well, you might as well. No, I might as well. Hell not. Like, no, what?
No, like, no, ain't no might as well in that, because that is a serious commitment. Like, I was just talking to someone, and I was like, you've been with this person for a long time. You might have kids together. You might have a whole life, a house, everything. Y'all done had a car to get all this stuff, like all these big things that married couples do.
Yeah. And
you think, oh, well, marriage is just a piece of paper. I thought that too. No, it's not.
It's so much more.
That piece of paper is a hell of a piece of paper.
Listen.
That is something that locks it in.
Yeah.
That just makes it, I don't know, it's crazy. But I think that my biggest point was finding you first, because we did get a couple comments of people saying like, well, people are 18 and 19. Because we're talking about that prom send off, that
right.
proposing at the prom send off. And we like, just find yourself, figure you out. I'm not even saying that you got to sit there and hoe around. You got to go have sex with everybody. And, you don't have to do all that.
It was that she had said, I can't even judge, because there are people who got married at 18, 19 and been married longer than people who knew each other for years.
Yeah.
But just because somebody been married a long time doesn't mean shit. Like, you could just be dealing with it. You could just be putting up with it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or, you could be, so they could be silently getting abused and you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But they've been married for 20 years. And it's just like, so did a lot of y'all grandparents and great grandparents. And it wasn't,
granddaddy
had a whole nother family. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Like, let's not mistake the length of time to like, oh, well, see, it can work because they got married early. Like, no, I think people just have to take time to figure out themselves before you make a lifelong decision like that.
And a commitment. And I think also what gets confused, I'm not saying to date somebody for 20 years.
Yeah.
Me personally, that's not my story. That's not my calling. That's not happening.
Right.
I'm not saying to be forever dating somebody just because you don't want to get married. I'm saying before you make that commitment, figure you out.
And I'm saying that if you want to just forever date, what's like,
if y'all two are on that page,
that's what I'm saying. If both of y'all are on the same page about that, who cares what anybody else has to say? Like, we don't want to legally get married, because my whole thing is you getting married is just a legal thing. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. It's a legal thing. Yeah. It's a part of the legal system. So when we talking about marriage and they talking about in the eyes of God, well, that's a decision between y'all. That has nothing to do with the legal system.
Right.
But people will, you're not married into the law. In the eyes of the law, you're married. And it's just like, I mean, yeah, technically as it relates to legalities, but I mean, here's my thing. And I'm going to just say this and we'll leave it alone because we can move on. We got other topics to talk about. But you don't have to do what you don't want to do.
Right.
Do what you want to do and what you feel is best for you.
Yeah.
A lot of people gonna give you their advice, but sometimes people's advice be tainted. Their own
Absolutely.
fears and stuff,
Absolutely.
insecurities, like they're filtering it through that. You know what I'm saying? And so
projecting.
and so now you're getting like distorted advice.
Right. Right. Because I have to be careful.
Yeah.
I have to be careful when I'm giving advice because not everybody is going to be in the same situation I was in.
Absolutely.
You know, but also I was blessed enough to get out of the situation I was in to see the signs.
Yeah.
In other situations, you
That's
know.
true.
So I don't want to ever give tainted advice like you said.
Yeah.
But it's just super important if you want to be forever dating someone, whatever you and your partner are going to do,
if it makes y'all smile, if it works for y'all, like and it's not hurting anybody, you're not hurting each other, like
both sides.
That's where I stand with it, and you can take that how you want to take it. I don't care. That's just where I stand with life. So
yeah, both sides. Because someone had commented about like Chrissy and Jim Jones. Both sides were not on the same page.
Absolutely.
What we're saying is you and your partner need to be on the same page. If you and your partner decide, hey, you know, we don't got to get married. We cool how we are. That's fine. Now, if one party is like, no, I desire marriage, and the other one's like, oh, I'm scared of commitment, that's different.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah.
You know, but if you do what y'all want.
Do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. So anyway.
Yeah. But that kind of because we were just saying about the whole tainted advice thing or whatnot. I get nervous about I'm not gonna say I get nervous. I think I'm careful about my next relationship.
Okay.
I'm careful about the advice that I give about relationships because, again, everybody's story isn't my story.
But I think if you give that advice with that disclaimer, it's up to the person to then kind of dissect
Take it how it
is. Yeah. Like, I don't think you give advice. It's kind of like, well, all men is going to do this, so you need to be careful. Like, that's not the case. That's not always the case. And we know that's not always the case. Right. So I think you definitely, like, you make people aware.
That's the thing, because if you know, if people are confident enough to tell me certain things that they go through, if I notice certain things, or if you say something that they did, I'm like, I went through that.
Yeah.
That's a red flag.
Right.
That flag is not pink. It is red.
Absolutely.
It's a red flag.
And sometimes it's common sense.
Yeah.
But people, they get in a relationship and they get blind. And
common sense goes out the window, baby.
Absolutely. So you missing all of the red flags. This person is just perfect, and you find and that's earlier on. You know,
the cupcake stage.
The cupcake. So tell me about this, because I've never heard this term before.
So cupcake stage and honeymoon phase is the same thing to me.
Got you.
So the cupcake stage typically is the beginning. It's the beginning of the relationship. It's when it's fresh. It's when you have that, I don't know, it's like that new love, that new flame, right? Yeah. So you want to be around that person all the time. You figuring them out. You're learning a person. That's when that's exciting. But I think that sometimes the cupcake stage can get toxic, or the cupcake stage is breeding a toxic cycle.
I can see that for sure.
Because, hello, my allergies. Sorry, I got frustrated. I don't want to keep on rubbing my nose. I think I'm snorting.
You're like, is she on that powder?
Yeah, I'm not. It's the pollen. It's not the powder. Listen, it's the pollen.
This weather been stupid lately.
Oh my God, I can't. But it's just like, at what point does the cupcake stage or the honeymoon phase get toxic? And why I say that is, again, a whole coming from my experience thing. You being attached at the hip. You can't do nothing without this person. You, as soon as you wake up, you on the phone with the person, or
that shows signs that you have this like dependency issue.
The attachment.
Yeah, like you it's like if somebody because here's the thing, we all get that butterfly sensation when you first start talking to somebody. Like, I'm not trying to say that, but it does get to a point where it's too much. Like, okay, maybe you need to step out and breathe. Like, you've been scary. Suffocating yourself with this person, and it's just like, okay, step back so you can view the whole picture, because when you in it, you can't see everything,
right? Because
you're so engulfed in love, and you don't even notice that this person, not always, but you don't notice what's going on. I'll just leave it at that. You don't know what all is happening, whether it be that person or you could be effing up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so you need to sometimes take a step back and look at some stuff and also just have a good balance in your life, because that's when, like you say, it becomes toxic. You not hanging out with your friends no more. Your family ain't seeing you. You isolate yourself, and then it's it go from Cupcake to Rotten Tomato.
Boo, tomato. And the thing is, because what happens is you like you said, you're suffocated, like you're attached at the hip with this person. You don't have any life outside of this person for the first few months. And then when you're finally starting, because typically if y'all like each other or whatnot, you don't get irritated with that person yet.
Right.
Like you have all the patience in the world for this person because it's fresh.
Yeah.
But as time goes, and I'm not saying it's going to get bad, but there are certain things that you start to notice about a person. You might start to get irritated, annoyed, like, all right, bro, you're kind of pissing me off now, But because we've been like this for these past few months, as soon as I'll be like, all right, well, let me go out with my friends. Let me do this. That's what breeds insecurity. And they're like, well, why you want to go out with somebody else now? Who is it?
So do you think that some people get really engulfed and go through that cupcake stage or the honeymoon phase, but then when they do try to step away, the other person sees it their way too? Or do you think that people who go through cupcake stages tend to be in toxic situations?
I feel like,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like it can go either way, because I'm not saying that everybody that is in a cupcake stage or a honeymoon phase is going to be toxic, because I don't believe that. I feel like, sometimes, again, when it's fresh and when it's new, it is exciting.
Yeah.
But it's just when you get that dependency
right
of that person, and you're opening the door for that dependency so early on.
Yeah.
That's scary to me.
Yeah.
But I know that I have the potential to do that, or I had the potential to do that. So the person that I have been talking to for a while, I'm appreciative of him because he didn't allow me to get that way.
Got you.
If that makes sense. Like, it was like, no, go out with your friends.
Cool. Yeah.
Like, go do that. But for me, coming from what I was in, I felt like I always needed to be around him.
Yeah.
So that he felt secure. Like, no, I'm right here. I don't have to go with my friends. I'm right here. You don't have to worry about it. You want me to call you? You want me to text you? You want me to fall asleep on the phone with you?
And that's way too much.
Like, yeah, but for me, I was, I forgot what the term is, but I was still functioning in my trauma.
Yeah.
I was still functioning in the toxicity, and I would have ended up right back in the same cycle.
Absolutely. Especially if you would have got with a person who
allowed
moves like
me
that.
To do
that.
Yeah. So I'm appreciative that he did not allow me to do that. It was like, no, like, and I would get upset about it too. Dang, you don't want to see me? You don't want me to come over? What you mean? You've been over every day this week. So
no, it's definitely healthy, and I mean, because we do get blinded by it. Because I know I've been in situations like that where you just want to be around that person. That person brings you this feeling that you haven't felt in a long time. But here's the thing that where a lot of us mess up. You're supposed to have that fulfillment already.
Yes. And
so the fact that you don't have it is why you are trying to seek validation or seek this from that person or that relationship. Yeah. And so you always want to be around it because they bring you that joy. But you're supposed to have joy already.
That's good.
You're supposed to have peace already. You should be able to sit in your home by yourself and be good.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of us, like, we finally get with that person and we chasing them because we just want to be around them all the time. And so, yes, absolutely, that break is necessary so you can get back to other things, get back to your life. Like, once that person becomes your life, now you've made them your God.
Boom. You put them on this pedestal.
Absolutely.
And eventually, because there isn't supposed to be any other God, any other idol, that pedestal and that idol is going to have to come down.
Absolutely.
And you're going to be hurt.
Absolutely.
Because that person's going to disappoint you.
Because you're going to find out that the people that you just, like, I think we're meant to respect everybody.
Absolutely.
But when we make people when we just make them this thing, this hero, this whatever.
You my safety, you my safe space,
you make them your savior. It's you're gonna find out, and even outside of just romantic relationships and different things like that, like I'm within the last few years, I think life has allowed me to see people not just close to me, but people that I've even looked up to and see their real colors, true colors, not to necessarily make it seem to discredit them, But for me to take notice that, hey, everybody has their flaws,
Yeah.
and to never ever put anybody in this, like you said, on a pedestal,
Yeah.
because you're like,
You're human.
Yeah, they're human, and you don't see everything. So once you start doing that, your eyes become fixated on this person. And again, like you say, you start to put them up, you start to put it up, and so the relationship or the person or whatever it is, it becomes very, very dangerous if you're not careful. Like if you're not aware of that, and you find yourself in, this person does something, and then it's kind of
shambles,
or it's because you've been so in love with them, for like you've engulfed yourself in this, that you kind of, where you should have turned the other way and left, you stayed.
Yeah, you should have left, or you should have set the boundaries. Like that whole letting stuff go or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like I'm done with that.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm a be straight up with you. Like, no, I don't appreciate that. I will communicate my feelings. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I don't like it when you do this.
Absolutely.
This makes me feel this way.
Absolutely.
I put the ball in your court, essentially. And if you continue to do it,
then I'm gone.
Yeah.
But when you make somebody a savior, when you put somebody on a pedestal like that, you start to not be able to see your own life without them, because your day to day is not not without them. So if your day to day, you can't be without them, you can't see your future without them.
Right.
So then when they do something stupid, you so stuck on them, and that's all you see. That's all that's playing in your head is y'all two working out and y'all being together, that you just put up with it.
And that's why I made a vow that I will never lose myself in a relationship again. Because again, that's how people lose themselves. Commonly what happens is when a woman, I can only speak from a woman's perspective. You can tell me the man's perspective, but like commonly you see, shut the hell up.
I was getting back to the other episode that you did that to me.
But like I noticed that women, and I was one of those women that, when you single, you get dressed up, you go out, not necessarily always to like a club or something, but you going out to dinner, you with your friends, you take your time and how you look and all those things. And then as time goes and you find that person, or that person finds you get in that relationship, you stop doing the things that you were doing before. Yes, I understand that when you're in a relationship, it's certain single things that you can no longer do, but you're not supposed to lose yourself in the process. Now, everything you do is revolved around that person. You don't get dressed anymore. You don't take the time in your appearance because it's like, well, I already got him. Like, no, you still... That's not just for other people. Like me, I don't get dressed for other people. I don't do my makeup and things to look good to you, to other people.
It's for yourself.
It's for myself.
That goes back to the point of you having to have this within, that joy within first. Like, so then you'll get dressed for yourself. You'll put makeup on for yourself.
Absolutely.
You'll go out because that's what you want to do. You'll do this because that's what you want to do.
The hobbies. What did you do before you were around this person? Now you act like you can't do nothing without them.
Absolutely.
What were you doing before? They haven't always been here. Hey, I used to go wine tasting every Tuesday, or I used to set up a time at once a month. I have a girls' night with my friends and stuff. Like, I don't want to lose me again. So in order for me not to lose me, I have to know who me is.
That's good.
That's not grammatically correct, but you get what I'm saying.
Absolutely. It makes a lot of sense to me.
So that's my biggest thing. Don't let your cupcake stage and honeymoon phase get toxic.
Because I could even say from experience that I know for sure, like a little bit in this relationship with Elise when we first started dating. But that's when I started to really understand myself more. And thankfully she was patient, and we were able to kind of, really just navigate this thing into what it has become. But I know for a fact my first marriage, which was really my first real relationship, I know for a fact that's how I was, because I'm very affectionate. I'm physical touch is my love language, and you find out that your love language is really just a reflection of what you didn't necessarily get as a child.
Okay.
So that's why that becomes your love language. And not saying that my family didn't love me, but
good.
It's just we weren't a very affectionate family. Now that I think about it, it wasn't like a lot of hugs and kisses. It wasn't a lot of I love yous. Even though I know my family loves me, it wasn't something that was expressed either out loud or physically. So now I overdo. I literally tell Elise I love you 17 times a day. Literally, like all the time. And I got to the point where I thought like I was annoying her, but it was just kind of like, like she knows that I love her. So I don't, I just felt like I needed to do it.
Yeah.
But like I said, I know in my first relationship, it was extra because this was the first person I was actually just with outside of my family. And this was like, I was now going to go for that, what I didn't necessarily feel like I had, or, all of these different things that I felt like I was missing or hadn't worked through. And, like just all of that stuff, like, with my real dad and all of that stuff, like it's a lot. So, I realized that will show up. It shows up in your relationships.
Absolutely.
Like, because that's the next person, you left your family. Now you with this person and it'll show up in that relationship.
Cause you're dealing with them 24/7 now. When you're like moving in with the person, you're getting married to them or whatnot, like you supposed to be locked in.
Yeah, but it was like I was locked into my own detriment. Like, just being so like, okay, well, I want this to work because this is the first real relationship, and you have those thoughts of, am I gonna be able to get into another relationship? Will anybody love me? When you really look at it, you're not being loved now.
Nigga, you're not missing nothing.
You're not missing out on anything. Like you're actually like in a terrible, shitty relationship right now that you need to get out of, but because you're so engulfed in it, you haven't stepped out to look at it.
That was my biggest thing. Like when I was going through that separation and divorce process, and I was like, what is life gonna be like? And my friends trying to give me, well, what do you like to do? I don't know, because my entire life was revolved around my marriage. Yeah, and it was literally like, how am I gonna do this by myself? Baby, you've been doing it by yourself.
Been doing it.
You've been doing it. That was just a body, essentially. You were doing it by yourself. You had to figure it out. You had to make it work. And if it didn't work, you didn't have no help. You had to figure it out eventually by yourself, So yeah, but that was a toxic cupcake stage too.
Absolutely.
And my mom used to say stuff to me like, you around him a little too much. And I'm like, girl, I love him. I love him. He loves me.
And we're going to just be in love together.
Oh my God. Baby, no, I should listen.
Fast forward 6 months. I can't believe it. Yeah, it's so dumb that us as humans, like that's how strong that, I guess, love. I mean, it is love coming from dangerous. You. It is coming from you, but how strong it can be if it's not healthy.
That stronghold.
It's strong.
It's heavy.
It because like I know we got to move on, and I ain't trying to really talk about my ex that long. But
okay, after a while I'll be like,
all right, that's enough.
Oh, brother.
But just to share my experience. Dang, what was I saying?
I don't know. You said, okay, because the burden of love can be heavy. That stronghold.
The stronghold.
Boom.
I think I had it.
You lost it again.
It's probably. I probably didn't need to say anything.
Yeah.
But no, you just the stronghold of you staying like in that place and not being able to like pull away. I guess that's what I was just kind of saying.
Stronghold, the soul ties, all of that stuff. When you have to get locked in with the right person, because once you locked in with them, it's hard to separate. It's hard to unlock. It's hard to all of those things. And when you get into those toxic, you're intertwined with toxicity and trauma, dog. Like for me, I love who I am now. Right. But what I will say is I have the moments that I'm like, I wish I did not experience what I did.
Absolutely.
Because who I am now, who I was before, didn't even have certain mindsets. The things that I have to unlearn, I wouldn't have to unlearn it. You know what I mean? Like when I think of Christian 2018, pre-2018, like Christian 2025 wouldn't have to think through so much. Yeah. Wouldn't have to talk yourself out, manifest so much and everything, because it was just there. Like I just was me. Like I was just, you saw me 2017. Like that was just me. There was nothing fake about it. Right. And not saying it's anything fake now, but I have to work so hard for it now. So
it's affected. It affects you.
in every aspect of your life.
Yeah, like even like when you start making certain decisions, like you said, when you get in a relationship, you're trying to make sure, or you talking to somebody, you're trying to make sure that they aren't showing signs of something that you
that junk is
experience.
scary.
Yeah, because it's like you're looking through this lens now, which is a blessing and a curse, because at least now I can see it, but it's just like now you trying to also trust the process.
Mm-hmm.
So
you have to trust the process, trust another person. Jesus. Give you my heart.
Mighty God.
No, thank you.
Okay, I'll keep it.
I think I'll keep it.
Yeah.
What's left? Thank you.
Right, this one's still bruised, okay? But yeah.
It's funny.
So what's next? What did we say we were talking about next?
Asshole questions.
Got you, for all the assholes out there. So it's something that I see it on the internet sometimes. People do it on podcasts, and so I wanted to give it a shot. It's just some stories. It's called Am I the Asshole? And basically, it's going to be a story of a situation. A person's going to tell the situation, and we kind of just decide on who the asshole is in this situation.
Okay.
So yeah, let's get to it.
Booyah.
So, all right. The 31-year-old who tried to hit on a group of teenage girls, and when they told him to leave them alone, argued with them about it. All right, so they're of age. They're 19. Just so we move on.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like,
yeah. Oh no, I would have skipped. While we were there was a girl who was celebrating her 19th birthday. They sang "Happy Birthday" and they were allowed an outside cake with 19 on it. I guess that's how this person knew. The birthday girl was pretty, so I wanted to go chat her up. Chat her up. Mighty God.
Is it not clocking to you that I'm standing on business?
That's so stupid. Her friends were super cute too. My buddy told me leave them alone and that they looked like babies. He didn't want to go over at first, but since the breakup, every other woman but my ex has been invisible. Oh, so he dealing with some stuff. So he went to wingman with me. We walked over and wished her a happy birthday. I thought things were going well, and the women were laughing. Then all of a sudden, one of the girls snaps at me to take a fucking hint, R. Kelly. I was taken aback and just said, "Excuse me?" She said, "Read the room," and that they were uncomfortable. Another asked us to go away. I was going to go, but I was really bothered by the R. Kelly comment. I said it's effed up to call me a predator when we're all adults here. My buddy wanted to leave, but I stood my ground. I was pissed off, and when I left, their entire table was singing "Remix to Ignition" and laughing their asses off. I was furious and humiliated.
Sir, read the room. You humiliated yourself. Listen to your friends.
I'm sorry. They were singing "Remix to Ignition" as you were trying to get you away. Like, that's funny as hell, bro.
He said I was standing on business. No, you weren't, sir.
No.
That's not no business to stand on. They are babies.
So you agree that he's the asshole? Or
yeah, he gets the donkey of the day.
For sure. For sure. It's fun. I love how you're dumb. I love how they handled it though. First of all, calling him R. Kelly and say "read the room," and then like laughing in his face.
Because I understand.
I mean, okay. Let's pause because everyone's grown here.
Right.
So let's start there. 31, 19, that's a 12-year difference, I think. Yeah. Yes. So they're of age. Legally 12-year difference. Which it's weird to me. I don't say that I condone this because I'm 32. If I was single, I definitely would not be trying to talk to somebody in their teens. No shade to y'all. I just hell no. Like no. I would need somebody who was on my level mentally. And then like his friend said, like they babies. Like you should have listened to your homeboy.
You should have. Like shout out to the homeboy.
Because
he was trying to steer him the right way and he just went wrong.
I know that conversation in the car was like, I told you to leave them hoes alone. Like why would you go over to their little ass?
And now you mad.
And now you upset because you got called R. Kelly. So they driving in the car and they just turn the radio on and fucking R. Kelly come
on. Now he triggered. Ah!
He get pissed all over again.
My mind's telling me no. Yeah, your mind should have told you no.
Yeah,
boy.
your mind should have told you no, just like your old friend told you no.
And
like,
I've been in those awkward situations too, where it's just like you trying to be nice, you trying to be cool,
yeah.
but golly, like, bro. So I feel the friend like read the room, bro. Like we trying to be cool with you, but like no.
Because he said my buddy wanted to leave, but I stood my ground. Like, well, you can stand your ground by yourself. Like, he was too much of a real friend.
Yeah.
Because I would have been like, all right, I told you not to come over here, and now they clowning you. I'm not trying to be on nobody's Instagram page. Like old girl, the few weeks ago we talked about when she kept calling him out of his name. I'm not trying to be in that situation. We about to leave their little ass alone before they call Chris Hansen. All right, moving on. Did you have anything else to add to that? I'm sorry.
Nope.
Okay. All right. The person who questioned the paternity of a friend's triplets because one triplet was slightly darker than the others. Oh. When the friend got mad, the asshole then told the father to get a paternity test. I pulled her aside privately and asked her seriously if her husband was the father. She didn't even listen or answer rationally. She just freaked out at me and acted super insulted and kicked me out. I reached out to her husband and told him about her reaction and told him he should get a paternity test. And then he called me an asshole and blocked me. Neither has spoken to me since.
Of course not.
I wouldn't speak to your ass either. I don't even think that's how that works. One triplet was darker than the other. They're triplets. So
they could be fraternal. Triplets can be fraternal.
True, but what I'm saying is they're all coming. This is all the same like DNA, right?
Exactly. This is not a Tyler Perry.
It's
show.
not a. You can't.
This is not.
You can't mix dad DNA like them the two or the three. They from him, but that one that's somebody else. Like I don't think that works like that.
I mean. Somebody's
pretty
comment and say that they didn't see the story.
I'm pretty sure that's not how that works.
Give me the article. Let me see the bibliography, please.
The bibliography is dumb. You're dumb for that one.
But no, first of all, it's not your place as the friend to. Why is it even in any of your business? If he's not concerned about it, why are you?
Yeah, I
And then you stupid because your reasoning is because one
is slightly darker than the other, and then it's you reaching out to the father and talking about, I think you should get a paternity test. I think you should mind your damn business.
I think you should go to hell. Actually,
I mean,
straight there.
Stay there. Don't move.
Because what? Have you never heard of a recessive gene?
True. Like that's what I'm saying. Like what? Yeah, you definitely the asshole.
Yeah, and you deserve your ass whooped.
So this one says, the person who told his girlfriend that her small boobs were the reason he preferred her not to face him during sex. Jesus. Just curious, I told her I had to be honest and said that I'm not attracted to her chest size and that I actually prefer bigger boobs. It's not a turn off having smaller size, but not a turn on. If I'm being honest, that's why I usually prefer she faces away from me during intercourse. She was quiet for a while, and then she said she was going home since she had to work in the morning. She's not coming back.
She's leaving you.
She's not coming back. The last time that she looked at you during sex was the last time that you're going to see her.
Yeah. Which is, didn't she have them boobs before you got with her?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like, I feel like it's a different situation. Like women, y'all in for more of a surprise when it comes to sex than men are. Like,
yeah.
I mean, vaginas are kind of,
Well, not the vagina, but the boobs.
No, but I'm talking about as far as women is concerned. Like it's just like it's not much of a surprise. Like if they big in natural life, like walking around the earth, then when you have sex, they're probably gonna be big. Like and same thing for small ones.
Off, it's gonna be there.
Imagine she pulled out a bunch of like stuffing.
I've been waiting to take this out. I thought you never asked.
Girl, you flat as me. What in the world?
A pancake, a cup.
That would be crazy. But that's not the case here. Like he saw that they were small. It's the fact that you couldn't look at her. Like her boobs had her. Like they gotta be.
You make her turn all the. So
I don't get how
back shots only.
That's it, basically.
So you can't look at my face because my boobs ain't that big?
That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, what does that have to do?
Look at her face.
Just look in her eyes.
Yeah, bro. You're the donkey of the day.
For sure. You win that award.
Wow. That's crazy.
Let's see what else we got. I can get try to do one more. The person who went out with a girl twice and then ghosted her as revenge for her saying no to a date a year before. Anyway, me and a few friends I've made since last year went out to a gathering. I'm still fairly new in their circle and surprised Clara was there. I think she recognized me, but I wasn't sure. Me and her hit it off, and at the end of the night, we had a date plan. The date went pretty well, and we went on our second date last Friday. After this, I went home and thought about where to go next, and I realized I couldn't really forgive her. So she hit me up asking if we were going out again. I sort of made a joke of it, blew it off, and put her on mute. I haven't responded since then. And our mutual friends say she's been pretty upset since she gets attached to people quickly, but the revenge I got was so sweet. So I guess he asked her out a year ago. She said no. So then he out with his people. He see her. He not sure she recognized, but they hit it off, whatever the case is. They start talking. They plan a date. They go on a date. And then after the date is over, she kind of hit him up like, all right, when we going out again? And he basically blew her off and haven't responded since. And she gets attached to people real easy, so she's probably like, why isn't he answering? Da, 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 da. So you just use like her issue against her. Yeah, you triggered her for real, and then you're going to laugh it off. You're definitely an asshole for that.
And you're miserable.
Yeah, miserable. Because why? Like, anybody who will reject me, like, we have no reason to ever then go out again.
And maybe they rejected you in that moment, and maybe you can come back around and be like, you know what, maybe I'll give it a chance.
But you should have been okay with that.
Yeah.
Since you obviously weren't okay with it because you then spin her. I'm gonna take her on a date, get her all thinking about me and wanting to be with me. You know how women are. You planning your wedding after the first date, and so that's pretty much,
baby. That's scary. No, thanks.
But that's pretty much what he had her on, and now she like he not answering and all of that. That's crazy.
And for you to say that revenge was so sweet, you're miserable.
Yeah, you're an asshole. Like why would you even think like that?
Waste your time and hers. Grow up. You were the donkey of the day.
Yeah. All right.
And sis, work on them issues.
Please, Clara.
Clara. Come on, Clara.
You can tell that was a made up name. Clara.
Who?
Have you ever met a Clara?
I've never met a Clara in my life. And I feel like if I did, they're 90 years old. Like, I've never met a kid Clara.
Clara, Hortense, Gertrude, they all about the same age.
They're all old. I feel like, let me think. I was about to say Ellen, but I did go to high school with a girl named Ellen. She was the only young Ellen I ever met in my life.
Yeah, her parents were old.
Or
super religious.
Something.
Or pilgrims.
Susan. I've never met a young Susan. They're always old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, let's get into this last portion of today's episode.
Boom. We got,
what do we have?
Never have I ever.
I guess I should just let you talk, huh?
Yeah. Like,
sorry.
Never have I ever interrupted somebody too many times. All right, let me think.
So this is never have I ever.
Yeah. Borderline embarrassing and funny edition.
Okay.
Let's see. Never have I ever had to do a sniff check. Never have I ever had to sniff check my own armpits in public.
I've definitely done that.
I've most definitely done that.
Who doesn't do it? If you don't do that, you probably be musty all the time.
You're the musty one. You're the stinky one. You're the one that stinks. Because you're just saying that you smell that and you don't think to check yourself. You're used to this. You sit and funk.
You're the stinky one.
You're okay with the funk.
You should be checking that. Like what? Like that. I don't think that's embarrassing at all. Like, and you don't have to be like. But you got to be like, you know.
That's so crazy because today.
Put your arm up. Let it stay up and keep your head right there just a little bit just to see.
Like, how do you do the sniff check? You know, just because you'll get a whiff.
Or I'll just kind of just do like a. Like, yep, need to get home, take a shower. What the hell?
Talk about, yeah,
Oh shit.
So I literally had this instance today at work. I went to go ask somebody a question, and as soon as I got over there, but I had did this, and I had got a whiff of something. I said, "Oh no!" So I did a sniff check right there. I was like, "That's not me." I wanted to be like, "One of y'all is funky."
Because when that smell hit you, it just.
First of all, I get
you remember
attitude.
where you. Okay, first of all. Big attitude.
Immediately.
Big attitude.
Why
I have
do
an
you
attitude
smell like that?
because why did I have to come over here and now it's a totally different planet? This is not the same Earth that I was just walking on.
Why would you smell like that?
Why would you do that to us?
I feel assaulted. My nose. I'm
if you
pressing
can't
charges.
smell, like if there's something wrong with your smelling, you should then have a accountability partner or something like, hey, you must do.
Me, I'm the type, I can't do that. I will go either to the person or in a work situation to their team lead, like, hey, yo.
Yeah, no, for real. Oh, absolutely.
I can't take it. You either going to move me or them, one or the other, or you going to have a conversation.
I remember one time we was in choir rehearsal and somebody who was in the choir was musty like every rehearsal. And so like when they was talking about the actual concert, they was just like, yeah, so we want to make sure that we take care of our hygiene. We're not, they kept talking about hygiene. I was like, oh, they talking about Joe Funky.
Duh. And it's just like, how can you sit there being funky?
I don't know.
You smell that, bro. Like,
I don't
can
care.
Smell if I'm.
The least you can do is check.
Something.
And if you musty, or I actually respect people who are a little musty. And if you in the area like, hey, I'm a little musty. I don't know what happened today.
I didn't put on enough deodorant.
Maybe I didn't put enough deodorant. I've been moving around a lot. I just want you to know. So if you smell must, is like I respect you because then at least I know. But if it's a surprise,
a blindside must, you blindside me, ho.
Yeah,
I have all right to smack you. Like I should be able to smack you.
For real, you smacked us with your.
You smack me with the must. I'm smacking you with this hand.
Facts. It's the same impact.
Boom. Literally, and honestly, the must is worse. Let's see. Okay, edit this out because I don't know which one I want to do. Sometimes ChatGPT be.
Listen, you just don't know.
I'll be like, "Are you okay?" Never have I ever deleted a post because it didn't get enough likes.
I've definitely done that.
I've done that as well.
I've definitely done that.
Instagram now has it where you can hide like counts.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would do that. I would hide the like counts.
I think I just got to the point where I don't care anymore.
I don't care anymore either.
But this is recently new for me because like if something, like if I would post something and especially on Facebook, for some reason I feel more naked on Facebook. So if I make a status and nobody like it, I feel like everybody and their mama saw the status and was like,
talking about
no,
this nigga is trash.
And then if like, and maybe because I do post content and statuses and stuff like that, so I that's how I feel about myself. Because I know if I see somebody else make a status that was 13 hours ago and ain't got no interaction, I'm like, they might as well delete that.
At that
because
point,
ain't nobody clearly nobody agrees with you on this.
I mean, you can't even give me a thumbs up.
But it's just the way our minds work with that shit. Like, I don't care no more.
So I'm kind of unlearning that whole thing because not saying I want to be a content creator, but I do want to get more active with my content.
Yeah, you are a content creator.
Oh wow,
you're very much so a content creator.
Yeah. But
welcome to the club. We have jackets.
Yay! You can't sit with us.
We got hats too, but
you know, I can't. You know what? Go to hell. Actually, we're ending this. You think you don't see Kevin? You ain't about to see me.
It's about to be me. Welcome to Dream Lab Podcast.
It's just
it's me and Jax.
Jax knock over the camera.
Oh Lord.
No, but the different content creators like giving tips and tricks, and they're like, keep posting. Like even if you don't get likes, even if you don't get the views, keep posting. I'm like, that's hard because sometimes I'll be like, all right, F y'all.
But what I've learned is the more you post, you forget about those. So a lot of times when you only post once, that's on your mind. So you keep going checking that post and you're like, oh, it didn't get enough views. It's not until you post your next thing that you don't pay that any attention. Yeah. So if you're constantly posting, you don't really have time to focus on the content that you've posted. Like just post it and keep moving. Yeah. Something's gonna stick, but you have to be focused and focused and concentrated
Okay.
on your actual content and not the
likes
responses
and the
to
views.
it. Yeah, because I mean, go back and check once a week, which would be hard as hell because I be checking every day. But if you could do like once a week, that would be great because then you realize that, oh, I'm not moved by this anymore.
I think I gotta turn my notifications off.
I turn my notifications off. I still go check.
Me too.
That doesn't help. It's a mindset shift. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, last one. Never have I ever said who all over there and still didn't pull up.
I definitely have done this.
I know you have.
Yeah, I you just heard the interaction I had with family. Like, yeah, oh no, who gonna be there? Okay.
I let you know.
I am okay with being the family member that doesn't show up to everything. I am okay with that because first of all, I don't want to. Actually, that's first, second, and third.
Boom.
I've learned that what I want to do does matter. And a lot of times we're kind of taught to not put yourself first. But I think for so long I put other people first and I was putting myself second or pushing myself to the side that I'm overdue. So I'm just in that season where I'm just like, no, I'm not going to do that. So who all over there? Yeah, no, that's a question that
I need to know that.
I need to know that. Because because not saying that I may not show up, but I need to know what mental state I'm going to be in. I should be in before I get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I have to. And I'm okay with it. I'm getting to the point too, like I don't care if I don't make it to stuff. Yeah. You know, if I give you my word that I'm gonna be there, that's different. Absolutely. And I'll be there.
If I say I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be there for sure.
And if I can't be there, it's because I absolutely cannot be there. But I don't go to everything. I'm okay with saying no now. Yeah. This wasn't funny. This was just a conversation, and that's all I have today, folks.
Wait, what?
These questions are ass. I even just told Chat GBT, like, give me more. These aren't funny. Like, I need them funnier. It says, never have I ever took a nap in the shower just sitting there like it was a spa. That's not funny.
Who does that?
You're standing up.
A nap in the shower?
Yes.
That's stupid. Yeah, that's
honestly, we can cut the whole never have I ever
out. I mean, they were okay.
Exactly.
I mean, they don't have to be perfect, you know.
This was ass.
Y'all tell us, put in the comments, DM us, whatever. Like, what do y'all want us to talk about? Give us some segments. I would love to review some of that, you know, just to see what y'all are thinking. You know, we can, whether it be something that you want us to review, read, talk about. If you have some questions. So we got to get our number and our email and all of that stuff up. So I'm actually going to put an email on the screen. Moving forward, if you want to send us an email or shoot us a text, I'm going to do both. It'll be on the screen.
My number up there.
No, I'm going to do the other number. And, you know, shoot us a text if you got a message for us, if you just want to say something, if you have a question, if you have a situation and you want our advice on, we'll give you our advice. I'm not saying you should take it, but
you probably should. Funny videos honestly, to react to.
Oh, yeah. Funny videos to react to.
You know what? Play this video right now. Justin Bieber. Boom.
Not getting it. It's not clocking to you. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
That's so dumb. I don't. We praying for Justin Bieber.
Honestly.
We're praying for everybody in the damn entertainment industry. Like, it's some craziness going on.
It is.
And it's just like everything, you know, either people being exposed or it's just people trying to expose people. It's a lot going on.
Or they in the Illuminati. I don't know.
It's a great time to just be to yourself. Like, just be with your family in your house and just lay low. Like,
you better lay low.
With that being said, any last words before we go?
Drink your water. Put on deodorant.
Please.
But before that, get in the shower.
Yes, wash your ass.
That's good. That's a blessed word.
Huh?
Goodbye.
Okay, scrub a dub. No, we got to get on out of here. Make sure y'all subscribe. We love y'all. Bye.